foul. That was absolutely ridiculous.
The Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
Up on down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
I don't know. It's tough. Tom's up there, man.
Beantown. Michael, watch. Are you ready for some football?
I love the Patriots.
What is going on, YouTube? It's Boy Just here on YouTube and from Beantown Takes. We're back again with another reaction video. Mike VRABEL is introduced as the new head coach of the New England Patriots. Little bit of a backstory on Mike VRABEL, the coach. He coached for the Houston Texans. He was a linebackers coach. He coached for the Tennessee Titans. He was the head coach of that team, and he was actually the head coach that basically ended up shipping Tom Brady out of New England to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, eliminating the New England Patriots 20-13 in that wild card round in 2020, and that was Tom Brady's last ever game in a New England Patriots uniform. He won the 2021 AP Coach of the Year. The dude, I'll just say it like this. This is all you need to know as Mike VRABEL is the head coach. He had a Ryan Tannehill-led quarterback. He had a Ryan Tannehill-led team and brought them to the playoffs. Now think about that for a second. Ryan Tannehill, before the Tennessee Titans or whatever, was not known to be a good quarterback. And he turned his career around for a period of time. He made him a relevant QB. He made him a playoff QB. So, I mean, if there's any guy that's going to turn this culture around and make this team a playoff team again with what they have right now, at least, not saying that that's what the front office should do. Let me just say that real quick. That's not what the front office should do. They have the most cap space. They should be in on all the top talent in the world. But I'm just saying, if there's a guy that can make something out of nothing, it's Mike VRABEL. Mike VRABEL is known as a coach where he's a player's coach, and at the same time, he's kind of what Bill Belichick is. He's kind of in between the two. He's a hard-o coach, while at the same time, he's a player's coach. There's a mix there. So, I mean, I think that's what the Patriots really needed. I think Mayo was too much of a player's coach. And then, obviously, Bill Belichick, his tactics just didn't work anymore. They needed somebody who was more in the middle, who understand the players nowadays, while at the same time will get the most out of those players. And Mike VRABEL fits that category. So, I love the hiring of Mike VRABEL. I think it was the best case scenario for the Patriots. And now he's going to come in here, bring his own team in here, his own coaching staff, to hopefully turn this organization around. Definitely a great start to the offseason for the New England Patriots. Prediction there was correct. I was saying if you are firing Gerard Mayo, you better go out and get Mike VRABEL. They did that. So we're off to a good start over here at least. So this is the introductory press conference to Mike VRABEL. I'm not going to talk much because as you guys can see down here, this says 42 minutes and 20 seconds long. So we're going to kick back, relax, and enjoy the video. And enjoy the Patriots introducing Mike VRABEL as the new head coach of the New England Patriots. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these videos. Subscribe now if you guys new, guys know what to do. Go check the website. The link is in the description down below. And without further ado, let's hop straight into the video. That's the scene right there. Just reminiscing the scene. waiting to get introduced. Is that what they're doing? Yeah, because there's the press over there. Oh, and by the way, guys, I forgot to talk about the Patriots resume that he had, too. 3-time Super Bowl champ with the New England Patriots. He is in the Patriots Hall of Fame. Dude knows how to win in this town. The fit just seemed perfect for this squad.
Well, welcome. We were gathered here today. We were gathered here 15 months ago at the Sports Illustrated Pavilion to welcome Mike as a new inductee into the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And I'm really proud that 15 months later, we're back here today to invite him and his lovely wife, Jen, to announce as the new head coach of the New England Patriots. I'd like to ask Jen if she'd come up here for a moment.
Yeah, get the family up there. Give them the moment. Yeah, I love that.
This is from our entire fan base here to tell you how excited we are about you both being here.
That's awesome. That's great.
So, Mike's history with the NFL, it's sort of his experience is what embodies what's great about the NFL. He joined us in 2001 as an unheralded free agent, and he had never started a game. He had been in the league 4 years, and he joined us, and he became a starter those next 4 years, and we were privileged to win 3 Super Bowls in that time. And his impact, because of his work ethic and his competitive drive and his leadership skills, made it very special.
Right.
Those 4 years. And those personal characteristics also made him a very high-performing coach, which he had started to do 7 years ago after being a linebacker coach at Ohio State for a year. He became a new coach at the Tennessee Titans for 6 years and finished with a winning record. I might remind everyone in this room in 2019, he beat us right here in the playoffs. It was Tommy's last game as a Patriot, and then he went on to Baltimore and beat the Ravens there, who were the #1 seed. And then in 2021, he finished with the best record in the AFC, 12-5, and it was the #1 season, #1 team. In the interview process, Mike showed us that he had a very deep understanding of our current team. And most importantly, he had a clear and focused strategy of how to get us back to a championship way that is so important to all of us, but also something that I think our fan base really deserves and expects. So, with that being said, it's my great honor to introduce you all to the next head coach of the New England Patriots, Mike VRABEL.
Save us, man.
You guys can put your cameras down and clap a little bit. Some of you familiar faces that I remember from back in the day, but that's okay. Thank you, Robert. I'm humbled. I'm grateful. There's a lot of people that have helped me get to this point. And I want to thank them. I want to use this opportunity to thank them in front of you. You'll get to know some of them, most of them. And I want to thank my family. I want to thank Jen, who's been along for this ride for quite a while. Tyler and Carter, who grew up here, who spent time here. It probably wasn't the easiest thing to be my son as I was trying to figure this out and figure out the difference between being a dad and being a coach. So I love them dearly. You'll see them around, hopefully. Obviously, I want to thank my parents, thank Chuck and Elaine, and as I go through this interview process, I'm always quick to tell people that I'm an only child. And only children are spoiled, which I was.
What's up, brother? Same here.
But my dad was a basketball coach and assistant football coach, and he taught me what it was to be tough, to work hard, and to embrace being part of a team and loving being part of a team and how powerful that can be when you're an only child. Those are probably hard things to understand, but I would tell you that those are things that I've built on, that I believe in. I want to try to put as many people in this building and around our players that are like that. So I thank them. I just want to thank Robert and Jonathan and Daniel and the entire Kraft family. Not only for the time that I spent here as a player, but the experience a year and a half ago that Robert mentioned with the Hall of Fame. Just the class that they showed myself, my family, my friends, the people that came. I think one of the biggest groups I'd like to thank are the players that have impacted me along the way from Ohio State. That when I didn't know what I was doing, I had no idea. I just tried to figure it out as I went along.
Right.
To the ones that I had in Houston, to the ones in Tennessee.
Sometimes it's the best experience, is just learning on your own.
I mentioned that we won 12 games in 2001. We played 91 players, and they all cared about the team immensely. They would do whatever it took for the team to win. And with that, the coaches that have impacted me along the way, my high school football coach, Jerry Reardon. I think I've had a great opportunity to play for, to coach with, and coach for some unbelievable mentors, people that have helped shape me, from John Cooper, Bill Cowher, John Mitchell, Romeo Crennel, Bill Belichick, the multiple coaches that were here, to Luke Fickell, to Urban Meyer, to Bill O'Brien, who held up his end of the bargain. When he asked me to come to the Houston Texans with him, he said, I'm going to do everything I can to get you ready to be a head coach. He did that, and he's a great friend, and I'm going to support Billy every way I can.
He had a great year at BC also.
So, the assistant coaches that have, held me accountable to leading the team. Sometimes when you're not right or you need somebody to say, hey, there's another way. And I want to thank those coaches, because to be in this situation, you need so many people around you, and you put in place to help the players. I want to thank the teams that were willing to meet with me through this process to give me an opportunity to potentially lead their team. But in the end, it was clear to me and to my family and my soul that this was the place that I wanted to be. And
sometimes I'm going to pause it. Again, not going to pause it much, but sometimes in life, you're going to have these paths everywhere you go, right? But eventually, that path will lead you back to home. It was only fitting for him to just be back here, back in his original home that he knows best, loves the organization dearly, the fan base. This was the right move for him. The path led him back to here, which is his home.
I thank Robert and I thank the Kraft family. Excited to get to work, excited to meet the people in this building that have made this place special. Find out what they need, find out how I can help them, how I can help them do their job better, how we can enhance the stuff that we do well. and then find out what the areas of focus are and get to work. I want to galvanize our football team. I want to galvanize this building. I want to galvanize our fans. And the most important thing are the players. There's some of them right here. I want to provide a program that provides their ownership, but also their accountability of each other, and one that they'll be proud to be a part of and that they're going to fight for. You know, you guys are going to ask me questions about culture, which I'll be happy to talk about and discuss.
Yep.
One thing I've realized about culture is that you can find out what your culture looks like when your family, your business, or your team is at its low point. It's not when you're winning Super Bowls, or it's not when you're 7-1 or 10-1, because then everybody's waving towels and everybody's happy and they're excited to come to work. But when you get hit in the mouth, or you're down, or the chips are against you, you know, then you can take a snapshot of what your company or your team looks like, and then you'll find out what kind of culture you have. But that culture is going to be built on winning, a competitive spirit throughout our roster, and throughout our players, and throughout our coaches and our staff, and the ability to put the team first and care about somebody other than yourself. And I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to get to work. But everything and everyone in this building is going to understand and believe that their job is critically important for our success. And it's going to be, you know, how can I help you in order to help the players? Our players will respect and they will appreciate and they will be grateful for the opportunity that they have here and the people that work in this building. Some very familiar faces that I can't wait to reconnect and to work and figure out how we help these players and this football team. And we're going to earn the right to be here every day. We're going to remove entitlement from our football team. We're going to get everything that we've earned from the head coach to the position coaches all the way down to the players. And we're going to earn the right to be here every single day.
Okay.
You know, I always say that I don't want to get into too many messages that'll be geared for the players. You know, but I hold those conversations. You know, those are special conversations between the coaches and the players, but you know, we want to treat every player the same way they treat the team. And we want to treat every employee the same way that they treat the team. And if they care about the team and they come here with a great attitude and a willingness to work and help the team, I've asked Robert to do everything that we can for them, to support them and their families. That's the type of environment that I want to build.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited about it.
I love that.
And with that, would love to answer any questions that you have.
Great speech. Just the way he talks.
Welcome back.
So relatable.
Just a thought on everything you've said.
For the players,
Wrapped in your
that's what I
career
mean.
as a player here. You said this is a special place as a coach now. How would you describe what kind of players you want to wear a Patriot uniform to help you win as an organization?
Elliot's going to laugh. I'm going to say good ones. That's just an inside joke between him and I already just over the weekend and through the interview process. But, you know, we're going to ask our players to just do a few things. One is to put the team first, to know what to do, and play fast and aggressive. So that's the vision for the type of player. Winners come in all shapes and sizes. Right? We're going to have leaders. Leaders are going to identify themselves. I know that our staff and our ability to create winners and competitors are probably easier than it is to create leaders. And the leaders are going to identify themselves. The leaders are going to be ones that define the culture. The culture will be the, you know, what drives and gives you the results that we're all, you know, after. So the type of player, you know, when you get into scouting and evaluation, every team has a height, weight, speed, right? And then it's our job to, you know, take analytical data and watch the tape and just figure out where they fit best for us.
Right.
And maybe they're the best ones and the right ones. That would be wonderful. But it's a long process, and those are the things we're going to ask the players to do. Is put the team first, know what to do, and play fast and aggressive. And
Right.
play with some speed.
Yeah.
Mike, congratulations.
Thank you.
You lived through the collaborative process, especially at the end in Tennessee. I'm curious how you view that, and do you have roster control over the draft
Good
here with the
question.
Patriots?
Well, I think the most important thing is that there's a shared organizational vision for what we want to do and how we want to work and how we want to acquire players. There's numerous ways to acquire players through free agency, trade, draft, post-draft process, after training camp. So again, I'm just excited to get to sit down with Elliott and his staff. I've met more with Elliott over the weekend than I have had conversations with him. But I need to sit down with his staff and figure out where we're at, what we need to do. And I'm confident that those types of decisions are all going to, sort themselves out. We don't want to always be on the same page. Like, that's not the environment that we want to create, but we want to have a shared vision, and there's also different ways to get there. And I'm embracing that everybody's going to have a different personality. I don't want my staff to be like me. I don't want all our players to be similar. We're going to have diverse ideas, and that's critical. And to be able to have those types of conversations is something that I'm looking forward to.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Tommy.
What is your plan for offensive and defensive coordinators? Is that solidified already? And if not, what's the process?
No, that's far from solidified. We want to put the best talented coaches in front of our players. When they stand in front of these players, I want the players to embrace what every coach is teaching. And I will tell you this, as long as I'm the head coach here, our coaches will have 3 simple jobs. And they sound simple, and they're probably not as simple as we want to make them be. But they want to teach, they want to develop, and they want to inspire our players by making a connection. We're going to make strong connections with our players so that we can coach them, and we can push them. And I've really believed in this system, and I believe in having great teachers, great developers, and also coaches that will inspire our men by making a connection so that they know exactly what makes them tick. Like, we all have stuff outside of here. Every single coach, every single player, every single person in our building is going to have something outside of football.
Right.
With their family, mentally, physically, they're all going to deal with something. It's going to look different, and it's going to smell different, but it's something. And we got to deal with it, and we got to, when they come in the building, do everything that we can to help them do their jobs. And I do feel the shared experiences that I've had as a player, one that, as Robert mentioned, didn't start a game for 4 years and made the roster because of special teams and occasionally playing on third down and backing up and being a backup at more than one position, to a free agent that took an opportunity to come here and started for the next 10 years of his career to being a veteran player who was expected to produce at a high level, to one that, as he got older, was traded to another team that then had to start over, had to act as a coach. So I feel like that every player that sits in that meeting room, I can at some point in my career relate to and have a conversation about.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting at with, like, the players coach. Is that he can relate to the players, he can relate to how they feel, he can relate to, like, what they need to do in order to make themselves successful, great on this team, and everything else. Like, this is what the Patriots needed. This is exactly what the Patriots needed. A leader. Gerard Mayo was not a leader. He was far from a leader. Bill Belichick was a great coach, but his tactics that he used as a coach, whatever, just dwindled. Just, you can hear it in the way that VRABEL's talking. If any of you guys have ever played it in a sport or whatever, you can think to yourself and be like, damn, yeah, I can kind of relate to that also. Sure, when somebody's not doing their jobs, he's obviously going to hold them accountable or whatever. But I love the fact right now that he's kind of laying out the plan what the culture that he wants to build here and everything else. Like, we now have like a general idea of what he wants his team to look like. I love that.
Hi, Mike. Hey, what's your philosophy when it comes to developing a young quarterback, and how do you plan on helping Drake May reach his potential?
Yeah, put great people around him. You know, we have
Beautiful.
to,
Perfect.
you know, I would say that my involvement will be as it relates to game management and situational awareness and where we are on the football field and trying to develop him as a leader of the offense. And when the quarterback, you know, when they call the play, like, you want to say, like, everybody's going to believe that it's going to score a touchdown.
Right.
Like, with that type of emphasis on how everything is going to operate. And, you know, Drake is going to be his own person, but I'm going to give him some things that I feel like are necessary to help us win football games.
Right.
We have to
surround him with talent.
be a very efficient passing football team.
Yes.
Right, and when you look at statistically of what wins in the National Football League, our ability to affect the other team's quarterback and our ability to provide for an efficient quarterback and passing game is a high contributor to success.
That's
And there's
basically
a lot
him
of ways
saying
to
the
do
same
that.
thing.
You know, by protecting the middle of the pocket and, you know, all those things that we're going to talk about as we move forward. But how we protect the football, how we're aggressive but not reckless, you know, understanding where we are in the game and the situational awareness that I feel like I've developed over 6 years and in my past year in Cleveland. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the Cleveland Browns organization for the opportunity that they provided me last year with Jimmy and Dee Haslam, and then Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski and all those coaches and players that allowed me to spend some time with them last year.
Mike, welcome.
Hey.
It's been reported that you'd like to bring Ryan Cowden, who you have a relationship with, to New England here to help with the front office. Is that something you plan on doing, or is there somebody else that you might bring to the front office to help in that role?
Yeah, Elliot and I have conversations, and as it relates to the staff, like, nothing has been finalized, nothing's been determined. You know, as with any
it's just a
staff, there's
blueprint
going
of
to
what
be
the game
turnover,
plan
there's
of
going to be
how to attack this
new
offseason
coaches
looks
and
like.
new faces, some that I will have history with and some that I won't. And that's what the interview process is, and that's what we're going to do, as Tom mentioned about with the coordinators, and you know, being able to you know, sit down with a bunch of coaches and be able to get the best and the right fit around our players.
Mike, right here. Congratulations. I know when you were inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame, you said that this place is special. You've been to a lot of places, this one's special. What is it that makes it so special for you?
Talking about the crowd.
Well,
When you said it's the crowd.
the history of winning and the championships, and you know, I would like to thank the teammates that I had here in the 8 years that I was here, and the teammates that I had in Pittsburgh, and the younger players in Kansas City that I learned stuff from. But that's what I mean. The people, the history, and not that the banners that hang in our stadium, they're not going to help us win, but I think it's a great reminder of what it takes to win and the type of people that you have to have in the organization, the selflessness, the work and the sacrifice that you have to make. So to me, those are great reminders of what it takes.
Right.
Just because those banners hang, that's not going to give us an advantage on the field,
Right.
but it's going to give us a blueprint on how hard we need to work and the things that we need to do to be successful.
Yeah, it's a motivational thing.
I'm surprised they didn't let you go first, Karen. They didn't let me. I would have let you go first.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Congratulations. I was wondering if you have yet had a conversation with Drake May, and also what your impressions were of his rookie season, watching from afar.
Karen, I'm smiling, Karen, because I know I look a lot older than I did when I played here, and Karen looks exactly the same way she did when she stood in front of me in the locker room. That's amazing, Karen.
Thank you.
Whatever you
Oh, it's so funny. One of you, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I've posted it. You know those like templates that Instagram has where it's like, post a picture of this. Well, there was a template saying, post a picture of you as a child. And and I posted myself playing Little League or whatever, like my profile from my Little League days, and one of you guys commented on it saying, damn, you look exactly the same now as you did when you was a kid. It's like, well, shit, damn.
Need some of that. I need it. Yes, I've had conversations with players on our team, you know, and who that's been with. You know, that I'm going to try to do through the next couple days, try to reach out to every player and the ones that are here rehabbing, and that come through here, and the ones that I'll call and talk and ask what I can do to help and where they're at in their off season, and how we move forward. Everybody got here and will get here through a different avenue. Right? Maybe we drafted them, maybe we signed them as a free agent, maybe we will sign them as a free agent. But none of that will matter.
T. Higgins. T. Higgins.
How we got here. The only thing that's going to matter is what we do when we're here. And that's the most important thing that I can tell them, is that everybody, in my eyes, is starting over. And they will prove to us and to this team that their impact that they'll make. And we're going to give those players an opportunity. We all have to be ready to take advantage of our opportunities. Some people get more opportunities, some people get less, but we're all guaranteed an opportunity, and will you take advantage of it when it comes?
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
In the wake of your success at Tennessee, you referenced the experience you had last year at Cleveland. How did that help you evolve as a coach? How are you a different coach today than you were at the end of 2020?
Good question.
One, I realized that I missed it with everything that I had in my soul, that I missed having the opportunity to lead, to help put a team together, a staff together, that I missed that. But I also embraced helping out the players and the younger players. That allowed me more time to try to develop younger players that were on the practice squad, whether that be with the tight ends or the offensive line. I really enjoyed Kevin's idea of putting a defensive coach, or what would seem to be a defensive coach, with the offense. You know, I'm sure if you ask people in Tennessee, they would think that I was probably the third or fourth offensive line coach, as much time as I spend in there, but I know how important it is to a football team and to an offense, and so really enjoyed getting to know those players and teaching them and helping the staff, helping the young coaches. It just reminded me the of not forgetting, you know, all the small little details, right, that are critical in coaching and teaching. To be able to work with young coaches and help them
see the size of both sides of the ball,
interview them, have mock interviews so that they could develop. You know, I always tell them, no one had a worse first coaching interview than I did, and I think that's documented. But it was with Urban Meyer at Ohio State, and it was guaranteed to be the worst interview that anybody's ever had. And I got another opportunity 8 hours later, and I did a little better the second time. So. I was able to work with the young coaches and really just get back to focusing on teaching and developing and what their style can be. And then the players of, you know, the fundamentals that are critical. Like we're going to play with detail, we're going to play with technique, we're going to play with fundamentals. There's going to be a brand of football that everybody associated with our team or our fans is going to be proud of.
Hi, Mike. Welcome home. Thanks for taking questions. You've got the number 4 draft pick. You've got some cap space. I assume Mr. Kraft has told you the checkbook is open. What are some of the top priorities going forward for you to fill some holes on this team?
Well, I think that player acquisition, I think you look at what's available in free agency and what you can feel like you can sign, and then see where you come out of that. But certainly, you look at the teams that are able to protect the quarterback and dictate the flow of the game offensively, you know, making sure that up front we're sound, we're strong, whether that's through free agency or through the draft, and that's something that's critical. The D linemen are just, you know, they're getting better every year. They're getting more disruptive.
Right, that's not the issue.
They're getting bigger, they're getting more powerful, and so as they try to affect our quarterback, right? we have to have some things that counterbalance that.
Oh, I get what he's saying.
And obviously
he's saying the
personnel
other
is the
team's
first way.
defensive backs.
And then scheme and style and tempo and cadence and all those things that if our players can handle it, then we'll shift, we'll motion, we'll go with different cadences, we'll go on the ball and, try to do all those things that cause conflict, but it's going to not be at the expense of the players. And if the players can only handle a certain amount, then that's what we're going to do, and we're going to get really good at it. So we're going to try to just focus on players that, again, we feel like fit us and fit into what we're doing, that are willing to commit to the team, and then also, try to find players that will hold each other accountable. And we have to get to know each other.
Nice.
We have to get, we got to peel some layers back so that you can hold each other accountable, right? Because if you don't trust the guy next to you, you don't believe in him, or you don't know anything about his family or how he was raised,
right?
When you hold him accountable, then
it gets personal.
There's pushback,
right?
And so what we're hoping to build is an environment that everyone respects everyone else, that we take time to talk and ask and listen. When somebody asks you a question, that you sit there and you take time to answer and listen to them. It's important, and not just have a bunch of flybys in the hallway and be like, "Yo, how you doing?" and then keep it moving.
Right.
That, hey, how you come out of that game? You know what I mean? You're a little banged up. How you feeling? But that takes time. Those relationships take time, and I'm excited to start building them.
Hey, Mike, welcome back.
Hey.
Understanding there will probably be a significant amount of overlap. How will your program here differ from the program you played in, and then obviously coached against later when Bill was still here?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be all different players, new coaches, some coaches that have remained, and people remember that. Like, there are going to be some things. Like, I'm not Bill, and I'm not Bill Cowher. I'm not anyone.
Right, no one's asking you to be those guys.
Those experiences, and I've tried to form what I believe is critical to the success of a football team and an organization. But to say what those are going to look like, hopefully just as successful. And our goals will be to win the AFC East, to host home playoff games, and to compete for championships. Like that's what it's going to take. And what the timeline is,
should be.
Just like we say with injuries, like we're not going to put a timeline on an injury, and we're certainly not going to put a timeline on what those will be. But that's going to be the expectations, and we're going to work like crazy, and we're going to compete like crazy.
Like next season,
we're going to give the players a plan, and they're going to form an identity on the field in the way that we're going to play and play for each other that they're going to be proud of. And we're not going to, we just want to be good enough to take advantage of bad football.
Right.
Like, that's where we're going to start.
Right.
And
that's
good.
That's
what
great.
I've tried to tell all the players is right now, I don't know if we're good enough to take advantage of bad football. I'm not sure. Like, we're undefeated right now, but if we can just work towards taking advantage of bad football and being good enough to when somebody makes a mistake, capitalizing on it, and not being the ones that make the mistakes.
Right.
Focusing on the little things and the details and helping them do their job better. That's a great place to start.
Right. Like next season shouldn't be going out.
Welcome back, Mike.
Hey, buddy.
You want to win a championship.
You don't
It
look
should
much
be
different.
10 and
Yes,
let's say 9-8, 10-7.
You mentioned you're not Bill. You had a special and unique relationship.
That should be the
with him.
goal.
What does it mean to you, if anything, to follow in his footsteps in this organization?
Oh, I mean, I think it is unique, obviously. Like, let's just be real for a minute and just say, having played for him and, having competing against him, and then also having a friendship with Bill, right, along the way. I think it's special, it's unique having played here, knowing Bill, but again, we have to focus on things that are going to help us win now, help our players, and like I said, galvanize the building and the team and our fan base. So I think that there's also things I'm going to try to explain to the players, that there's things that are interesting and there are things that are important. I think me having played for Bill is interesting. I just don't know if it's important to helping our players.
Mike, welcome and congratulations. You were the hottest name on the coaching cycle this time around.
Mike said
Presumably you had your pick of jobs. So personally, professionally, what really separated this choice among the others?
Well, I think that the ability to have open dialogue with Robert and Jonathan was something that was critical. Elliot and his staff, obviously, what I believe and what everybody else believes is a young, dynamic quarterback. We have some youth on the roster. We have some veteran players that have kind of seen both sides of it and understand, and that will help me and will help our players, get back to that success and understand how hard it is. I do think that we're getting a different style of player, a different player to the NFL. One that, sometimes guys played 4 or 5 years in college in the same place under the same coach, and we don't have a whole lot of behavior to change when they got to our league. And I think now with the NIL system that everyone is embracing and I'm all in favor of, but sometimes those players are at a school for 6 months and they may go to another school and with another leadership style and another structure. And so when they get to our league, there's some behavior that may have to change, and we have to be willing to help them change it. And that's okay. Like, this is not an indictment on the college football system. This is just, you could go back and get a player from Alabama or Ohio State or Notre Dame where they had been there for 4 or 5 years, maybe they redshirted, and there was a consistent program, and you felt comfortable adding that player. Now, it's hard to keep track of where they went to school. And so that's not easy, but we're willing to help those players that need to have some of those things changed, and the commitment to the team, like we're willing to do that.
Hey, Mike, back middle here. Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Looking forward to all our future news conferences together.
There's going to be more?
I think so. I think the league makes you do a few of them. I hear they're fun, too. Just curious, one thing you've learned in your first experience from being a head coach that you want to make sure you apply to your second time around?
I think there's so much. I think just this connection piece, man, getting to know these players. And we're going to put so many points of contact around our players that I understand that I'm going to have a different relationship with some players than I do others. Right? I'm going to have a relationship with every single one of them. But then there's going to be other ones that may not be as strong, but they're going to be with the position coach. And we're not going to have a whole lot of rules. We're going to start with being on time and being respectful, and being able to communicate like anybody else would outside this building. If you were late for an appointment, if you had something going on, that we're going to have people that are around the players for them to be able to trust and say, hey, I've got this going on.
Right.
And I've tried to do this in Tennessee, that if somebody walks in the door at 7:45 and they just, there's something on their face that they're wearing something, they're holding on to something, that something's not right, I would rather give that player 30 minutes or 45 minutes, however much amount of time that he needs to take care of a situation, than the 7 hours that he's going to waste wearing it through the day.
Right.
And I want to provide as many points of contact with the players so that they feel comfortable. And if that's coming to me, great. If that's coming to Elliot, great. If that's coming to our strength coach, or that's coming to our position coach, whoever that may be,
whoever it is,
I want them to have as many relationships in the building that they feel comfortable saying that, something's not right, or I need to communicate, or I'm going to be 15 minutes late, whatever it is. So I think that that's critical, that we teach them some of those things, that there's more people that they impact than just themselves.
Right.
Mike, congratulations.
Thank you.
You said at the beginning of the press conference, you knew in your soul this was the place to be. Did you ever envision yourself or dream about this moment here when you were a player, or even when you came back for the Hall of Fame induction? Did you ever dream about standing up here as the head coach of the Patriots?
Yeah, I think, probably more so when I started my coaching career. like I think it was important for me to go somewhere else, to start another coaching journey. The opportunity at one point was probably presented itself to be here coaching, but I felt like it was important to forge my own path somewhere else. And if all those experiences led me back here at the right time and the right opportunity, then that was going to be what was meant to be. And so, but
it's meant to be,
coaching,
man.
You know, I mean, not coaching the Tennessee Titans. That was never something that, you know, took my time. But I think that when I started my coaching career, I said, man, let's go and let's see where we can go and take this and work with other people. And you know, if the time's right to go back, then there'll be right time.
Mike, congratulations.
Thanks, Mike.
How would you describe what type of offense you want to run, and how does that tie to the traits that you'll be looking for in a play caller?
Yeah, I think that the offense, again, we mentioned things like aggressive but not reckless, right? We have to be able to take chances. How do we create X plays without just,
like we
you know,
saw a
having
glimpse
to throw
of
the
that
ball
last
down the
year.
field 50 yards and just sit there taking shots, right? The creativity. You know, we want to be, I would say, versatile enough if the players can handle it, right? I want to, you know, you look at zone scheme in the run game, being able to run, you know, gap scheme to things that the defense may do. You know, be under center, be in the gun. You know, whether it's, but it's also important to understand, you know, everybody has access to this, and everybody has some experience with different types of offense, but it's what the players can get good at. How much can you reasonably do? You don't want to dabble in things and say we're going to dabble in RPOs when the quarterback, you know, that's not a strength of his. And then being able to read.
You got to learn like what
and
players
pull the
good at
ball
which
and
scheme and
there's so
everything
much
else.
Nickel pressure, right? How do you want to handle nickel pressure, right? All these answers and different things that defense.
It's like it's like Madden basically. What can the players relate to?
Simulated pressures.
What scheme can the players relate to at best?
Right, and then, you know, being able to go on the ball and try to be able to use an offense that goes on the ball at times and dictates tempo, cadence. But again, it'll be based on what the players can understand and what they can handle. And we're not going to, you know, put things that make them slow, right? That somebody told me a long time ago, you can't tell the difference between a player that's afraid to do it or doesn't know how to do it, right? And so they kind of just stand there with that look, and we're not going to stand. You know, we're going to be moving. We're going to demand effort and finish. Like people ask what non-negotiables are. Our effort and our finish is going to be the contract that we make with our teammates, and that'll be something that'll be my job to make sure. That's the greatest compliment that you could ever give a coach, by the way. Not that he has great plays or great blitz. It's, man, you guys, your players play their ass off. And trust me, when somebody that's a respected coach tells you that, you'll thank the players and you'll care about them and you'll do whatever you can for them, because that's the greatest compliment that you could ever get. So, time to get to work.
Love it.
We good, Stace? Thank you.
Love how he ended that. Let's get to work. Alrighty, that's gonna do it. Mike VRABEL, the new head coach of the New England Patriots. A lot of great answers there. I loved almost every single answer that he had there, where he's talking about what culture he wants to build of this team, what style he wants to play, how he wants to relate to the players, and have relationships with these players, relate to every single one of them. This is why we wanted him in New England. He's a relatable coach to the players, to the culture, the winning, the history. He's relatable to all of that, while at the same time he can get the best from his players and hold them accountable for when mistakes happen, so on and so forth. That's why we wanted Mike VRABEL on this team, because he is a guy that's going to bring back that Patriot culture of football. I mean, he knows it best. He was with his team for 8 years, won 3 Super Bowls with his team. Love to see it. We love to see it. Thank you guys for watching this video here. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe now if you guys new. You guys know what to do. Go check out the website. The link is in the description down below. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. What you guys think of the Mike VRABEL hiring from the Patriots. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Why do you like it? Why do you hate it? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching this video here. It's been your boy Jesse, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.